What's up, Bar?
Israel.
What's up, you? I will be franchise because like for me, in my opinion, if I would Hasbro, I would make about two games on Power Rangers. The one like in the Walking the Grid, and plus another one like a RPG type element thing. Because like in my opinion, you want as much people as possible inside your product. I think, and plus the general public. Because in my opinion, if you can make a fighting game sound like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter, and you bring it inside the fighting game tournaments, that could also bring up the popularity too. I think, in my opinion,
Yeah, Grand Israel.
because you look at it, Street Fighter, Street Street Fighter plus Mortal Kombat wasn't really famous just until you start seeing it in tournaments like online and stuff like that. You really didn't see it like that and stuff like that. And kind of like people hate to admit it, but that's what if you make a fighting like game sound like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat and make it and make it like tournament style type, it just for your story,
Yeah,
that don't be good and stuff
yeah,
like that.
Grand Israel.
Uh, uh, because think about me, right? In my opinion, solid shoot. I always like the Power Ranger Morphin the Grid game that came out. I bought it. I bought the 1999. I think one with the downloadable content. I think it was 19 or 29. One of them. It was wasn't that 29? I think the one that came with the DLC and stuff like that. Or did that come with it? Let me see now. Let me see. Because I got it on my library, my gaming library. Shoot.
Okay.
Let me see which one I got. Because I know it was three. It was three of them. I think I know they had based on. No, it was Power Ranger, More for the Grid. Yeah, I got the one that was my 29, the one that was in between. It had grid, the story and stuff like that. Because you would have bought the basic one. The basic one didn't have the story mode on it. The other one did. And kind of like the thing, in my opinion, what I learned because that Power Ranger Grid game is not as easy as everybody think it is. Because you actually need skill to play that game and stuff
Yeah,
like that. And that was something
definitely.
to fail to realize because that simply the thing when they bought it, it was easy. But I'm gonna look at them. I say that game is not as easy as y'all think it is because you got to have skill. You can't get mad at everything stuff like that. And people thought that I was crazy, but I tell them, I'm not crazy, just for saying you need skill to play that game and stuff like that. And for that part of the game, actually bring the comic book story to life, which is actually good. I think, in my opinion, it actually was a good thing just for
Yeah,
people that just don't read the comic and people that didn't know that the comic existed with Power Rangers stuff like that. That was actually a good thing. I think, in my opinion, too, for them to do. Because the thing about it was, I think that with the Power Ranger franchise, it sound right. If they do like Mighty Morphin and Ninja Power, they gonna have to explain where just when Ninja was at. They gonna have to explain what that um how can Ninja transform travel, just the different dimension, give them power drive, Operation Overdrive, and stuff like that. The Lama Sentinel Night, because they were sure I like the Sentinel Night, but the Sentinel Night don't know how to make power coins. That was Ninja, and
Yeah.
they got
Yeah.
yeah. Because the thing for me, right? If you put in film and you bringing in like another crossover, the Zack and Trini Power have to upgrade to ninjas. I hate that. I hate to tell them that because if you look at it, Trini and Zack was the only two that didn't upgrade to
Yeah.
the second one. Unless they give me Zach a upgrade just to the power he got now in Trini daughter, that's the only way that shoot I probably could think of and stuff like that of them actually doing it. Because that's hard to do. That to give Zach and Trini unless they give Zach one on Mega Power that was in the comic books, but they just doing their own version of it
Yeah.
because the writer Power Ranger already said that the comics in the show is not the same. But I'm looking at him. I say that is kind of like contradicting when you put in the show and Ninja Steel, I think, and said that y'all got different dimensions. Because like the different dimension wasn't in the comic book first and not in the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that kind of don't make sense in my opinion. Kind of like people prior can say that I'm being in conspiracies, but think about it. When you look at the comic books had it first, and then the show just after it and their own version. Because you look at Ninja Steel and just in the crossover episode with Tommy, they talk some Lord Draken or something like that. That has somebody making a Power Ranger army and Ninja Steel and stuff. That I'm looking at that, I say, wait a minute, this is the Lord Draken storyline. They just putting it inside, just inside a just a smaller scale.
Yeah.
Just it's still crossover, but you still try to tell me that the comic books and live action Power Rangers just don't cross over. That that don't make no sense,
Yeah. The
in my
poor. I
opinion.
mean, yeah.
Because you putting stuff that's in the comic books inside the show, but you still try to tell me that that don't correlate and that don't make sense, in my opinion, and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, the poor
Because
element.
you know what
That's
I mean.
yeah.
Yeah. Because you know what I mean. That like different writers said that the comic books and live action show is not the same, but you do stuff similar to it, which don't make sense, in my opinion. But I could be wrong though. I could be wrong, but that writer need to explain himself on that though. He need to explain stuff on that. Because the thing about me, in my opinion, which I actually like about the how can I say what I like about the Power Rangers now and Dino Fury is it sounds like the Dino Fury the Dino Fury and Mighty Morphin seem like it have a continental and plus they're telling a good story. In the first two seasons of Dino Fury and stuff like that, it's having like a good story. I think in my opinion, which actually good for me and Power Rangers because right when you look at the other seasons, a lot like season 1 and 2, it seemed like the season one be better than the season one original story be better than season two and past seasons. What
Yeah.
I've seen on certain shows, but I'm looking at certain shows. I said, wait a minute now. That Ninja Steel season two was a little bit better than season one, but the thing is, season one had the more important information Ninja Steel and stuff like that. Sound like people probably can say that I don't, that it don't, but when you look at it based on the show, season one is still explaining about the steel. They're explaining about the bad guys in it. They're explaining where the bad guys came from. Everything's like in season one is still, but in season two, it seemed like it just been my fights and battles without them telling most of the story. I think, and plus expanding some of the characters. And that was season one, and it still actually had expand on the character. I think, in my opinion, and just expand the character, just each ranger based on the episode and stuff like that. But I don't get it, in my opinion, just when the writers of Power Rangers don't even want to admit that they bring stuff for the comic books onto the screen. Just get a comic book somewhere a credit somehow, because you just can't be saying that you don't take inspiration from it at all, which don't make sense, in my opinion. That should that just me? Should that just me? My opinion. And, and plus, you look at the modern that on the Power Rangers power. Shoot, the most powerful teams I think on base form is Mighty Morphin, Operation Overdrive. Even though people don't like this show, but the Operation Overdrive powers was good.
Yeah.
That was some people need to admit because you look at Mac Battleizer, he destroyed about 3 or 4 Power Rangers by himself.
Yeah,
Three
that's
or
true. I
four
mean, it's
monsters
angry,
by
but
himself.
I mean, yeah, it's angry, but yeah,
Yeah,
much better. I mean, yeah, handsome.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Be, because just I think, in my opinion, stuff like that, if they would bring back some of the characters that wasn't Operation Overdrive and actually expand on the character, oh boy, that jump be good. I think in my opinion, if they actually expand on the character and stuff like that, and that is me. Because think about, for me, if they would actually expand on the character and stuff like that, just Operation Overdrive people, they needed to expand the character on Megaforce. Some of those people in Megaforce just need to come back
yeah,
just to make
they
their
do.
character better. Because think about it, shoot, in
Yeah,
Megaforce, shoot, I did, shoot, some of those characters in Megaforce was good by premise, and some in certain parts of the show that you could have seen the big old potential that they had as a character if the show writers would have been better. I think, in my opinion,
yeah,
um, because there for me, it's like people could say that I'm hating or stuff like that, but that's what
yeah,
when you look at it, that show had potential, man. That show had potential all day
yeah,
to be good. I'm looking at this. I say, wait a minute. I say, wait a minute. Now you telling me in Megaforce that you could have spanned Noah character. You just give it one episode.
yeah.
Well, it should have had 2 episodes just to expand his character.
Mm-hmm.
Because so if you look at it, for me, Noah should have had about 2 episodes to expand his character. Jinx should have had two.
Mm-hmm.
The Pink Ranger should have had one, because her character
I
wasn't that
know.
deep, but still was good.
Yeah, yeah,
The Lila Gia, she deserved an episode just to expand her character, which I saw some of it throughout the seasons of all of them evolving. But the thing is, in my opinion, which will make Mighty Morphin better than most of the new shows, it sounds like Zordon, the cast, everybody and stuff like that involved during the seasons. They evolved during the fights. They actually have overcome challenges and stuff like that,
yeah,
which I noticed, in my opinion, what some people don't do. Because they kind of like oversee challenges, which they should. as it should do throughout the seasons. Because right, if you look at Mighty Morphin, you can tell me if I'm wrong or not. The Mighty Morphin teams challenges actually had character that just expanded each fight. Because the thing about me, in my opinion, which I think that some people should do, but everybody don't do,
Mm,
is like actually actually try to look at the seasons and see if they actually evolve as a character, stuff like that.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, because when you looking at new seasons, it seems like the writers is like forgetting about the characters. They kind of like forgetting the character on development and stuff like that. Kind of making me mad just about these new shows because I'm looking at them and stuff like that and saying, I'm looking at them and saying, what in the world y'all doing? Because
Mm,
because like the Mega Force seasons and stuff like that, it's like y'all had a good development characters on the show. And plus, I'm looking at them and stuff like that. I'm looking at the characters and stuff like that wasn't show. Jake, especially Jake. Jake Jake could have good a real good character arc on that show. A real good character arc. But it seemed like to me, in my opinion, stuff like it seems central in my opinion is it seemed like me in my opinion is that the writers just was worrying about Troy, which they didn't have a good job doing anyway. I'm looking at them, I say, really? I'm looking at y'all, I said y'all could have did a way better job with Troy than y'all
yeah.
did.
Yeah. I got that.
Because the thing about my opinion, when you look at the character of Troy outside the show,
Very plain.
man, that's such a good outside the show. And he's a good actor.
Yeah.
He
It's
act-
just descriptive.
he is actually a
Couldn't
good
be
actor
better.
outside the show. And plus two, I'm looking at everybody else and stuff like that. I'm looking at them. I said, wait a minute, you try to tell me, y'all try to tell me outside this show and stuff like that that y'all can't even give Troy a better story than y'all give him. Be- because y'all give him a script that just had to act quiet. But that's what he was gonna be a quiet leader. Give him lines sound like Tommy when he first got started as the Lone Ranger and stuff like that. As the Green
Right.
Ranger, give him
Mm,
short lines that will be like impactful just for the team.
yeah.
That this get that impactful just for the team though. It would have been good to know to see because the thing like you look at it based on the silent leaders, he had the most silent besides Casey wasn't a loud leader, but that's what that he still was good at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
You let Casey the Red Ranger that was in Wild Jungle Fury, he was actually a
True.
good ranger too.
Yeah.
But then he wasn't a loud leader, and plus he let his actions tell the whole story, and that was some people forgets. And in my opinion, stuff like things about being good leaders on the show, that on certain seasons. But you look at Down Fury, you can always tell that the Red Ranger will always lead him. You can tell that's what a team he got. You can always tell that's what a team he got though, because the team he got is actually good.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Because you look at like Amelia, the Blue Ranger, and the Gold Ranger, they had the challenges adjust to the team, but the leader always give them was like a stable rock. If you
Yeah.
look at it, because like the Dino Fury team, which I see right now, is actually one of the best coordinated teams besides Mighty Morphin, Lightspeed
Yeah.
Rescue. Let me see now. If I go by teamwork, I had to go for like let me see, teamwork. I gotta go for Mighty Morphin, Lightspeed Rescue, Zeo. You look at Zeo, Zeo plus Mighty Morphin is like one team anyway because some of those the same people that transfer to Zeo Rangers, all stuff with Billy. I think of Mighty Morphin, Zeo, Turbo was good, but the thing is, I can't say Turbo had the best teamwork, but they had a good team. But I can't say they had the best teamwork because it was two different leaders on that season.
Yeah.
Because think about it, if they would have had TJ the whole time, I probably would have said, or Tommy the whole time, I probably could have judged it fairly. That they would have had one of those at the same time. I think, in my opinion. And yeah, I gotta go Mighty Morphin, Zeo. I gotta go Lightspeed Rescue. I gotta go Dino Thunder. Was a good teamwork. Um, dang, what's another team that had good teamwork? I would say Jungle Fairy, but the thing is, it took them a while. It took them a while to get there. But I can't say best, but it was good. Um, R RPM was good, but it took them a while. But it was good teamwork. But the thing about it, if I had to go for the best arc in Power Ranger seasons for good, for Ranger, I got to go Tommy. Um, I got to go Tommy Trent. I got to go Tommy Trent and other people.
Charge this up, okay? And read the text so you can do what I said, okay?
Uh, if I go Rangers, let's see, Tommy Trent. Dang. Let me see. That wasn't Jason. A two-part season, a two-part episode thing.
Yeah, for the green year one, yes.
Yeah.
Or something like that, yeah. Or green year,
Oh,
yeah. Short miniseries,
and
yeah.
and kind of like my other opinion, which I think, in my opinion, that could work. Which I think, in my opinion, right, I think, in my opinion, if they're doing like a live action one, like for Netflix, if I was doing right, I was doing right in my opinion. I would do like the first part of the season, just original five, part one, just for Tommy come in, just as the Green Ranger, and do it for like part two, just a live action series. Then you start with the Green Ranger being evil and end it with the Green Ranger being good. And then for part three, then you could add like the them being like they can make this Mighty Morphin live action 3 or 4 seasons if you look at it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because think about me, if they do it like the original five, I'll do it like a 5 or 10 episode arc on season one on just a live action. But the thing about, for me, it sounds like the Mighty Morphin team cannot be kids. I hate to tell people because like the MCU that wear people out just for people being kids and movies being bad and stuff like that, because that's what I hate to tell Netflix. And you trying to make it kids, people will not look at it. I hate to tell them because if you look at it, these Power Ranger fans just not grow up and they're not kids no more.
Yeah,
Because if you look at it, that they could make the school, that they could make them in college
yeah,
if if I was doing for Netflix, because think about it, if you try to make it teenagers, then you can't really bring the stakes like you really think you could. Because then for me, I would put them like in a 4-year course or something like that of them just growing up as Rangers, as them as a sophomore in college. I do like that, or something like that. But the thing is that for me, it all the it all depends on the writing though. I
Yeah,
think in my opinion.
uh,
Because the thing about it is just like me, you always say, if the writing is bad, it will always mess up a good movie or a show. If the writing is bad, and we all know this. And that was some people fail to realize. I think sometimes it tell us something. Shoot, the trailer look good, but I'm looking at them. I say, how about that writing though? And they would get mad at me when I would ask them that and realize some people. I'm looking at them. I say, how about the writing? They're looking at me talking something. I'm not wrong about the writing. The long as it look good. I say, this is not an action movie. This is like a Power Ranger show that got to go a season, and
yeah,
you got to worry about the dialogue. And plus, I'm looking at everybody. I say, wait a minute, y'all not gonna ask him the reason why he not worried about the writing, and y'all get mad at DC every time. Because you
yeah,
get mad at DC every time just because DC don't have a good line explaining a movie.
yeah,
And they kind of like the other bad thing I'll notice about some people and stuff like that is sound like people might like it, people might not like me for saying it, but that's what the shoot the MCU, my opinion, they got away with a lot of just being average shows. I think, in my opinion, they did, and that just in my opinion, something that shoot. That's just my opinion. Because if you look at the shows and movies that the MCU did, it sounds like of this MCU stuff. How can I say this? How can I say this? Some of their writing and some of their directing during the MCU phase 4 and 5 was not good. I think, in my opinion,
yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
and and kind of like the bad thing
I
about
know
it, it's
what
kind of,
carefully.
yeah,
There were consequences.
yeah, and the kind of back, oh yeah, yeah, and they kind of backwards thing about it. If you look at it, ever since Power Rangers went from Nickelodeon to Netflix, it seemed like the writing got better. The big old
Yeah,
the
but
rate,
Netflix better. That's why. I mean, before, I mean, the kind of writer. Yeah,
yeah, because just like, I'm looking at everybody. I look at everybody. The Nickelodeon told some the the Ninja Steel and Donald Charles shows was cool, but the thing about it,
yeah,
when I look at the Netflix Donald Ferry and Beast Morpher shows and just how everything that they let Power Rangers be free, this some of the concepts is much better.
yeah,
It's much better in my opinion. And and people could say that I'm hating on it. I'm hating on Nickelodeon, but that's what. Look at the show quality based on the two networks and stuff like that, and just let fans receive it. And kind of like the only good shows on Nickelodeon was like Dino Charge. That's really good one. Dino Charge was excellent. Ninja Steel was good, but it could have been better if it would have been on Netflix. I think, in my opinion,
yeah, yeah,
if Ninja Steel, in my opinion, was on Netflix, it would have been like a much better show. I think, in my opinion, if they would have had like Ninja Steel on Netflix, because you look at some of the concepts they want to do on Ninja Steel on Nickelodeon, Nickelodeon wouldn't allow them to do it because it was a kids network as they claim and stuff like that. And plus, I'm looking at them. I look at them. I say, man, them kids don't care about violence up in a Power Ranger show. It's a Power Ranger show. What where you expect? I
I
just
mean,
don't
yeah,
get it. It's a Power Ranger show. Just like people fight Power Rangers stuff like that. And for the thing about it, if you look at it, the Power Rangers team, the Power Rangers team just with the most story in the comic books is Mighty Morphin, Zeo, and and plus Ninja Storm get, got better stories, and plus Lost in Space just with the Cycle Rangers. But the thing, in my opinion, is some like people like in my opinion stuff like that. Who don't read the comic books, they wouldn't they wouldn't know they wouldn't know that the Soccer Rangers wasn't always bad. They was always forced to be bad
yeah,
and stuff like that up in the show. Because you look at the show, they make it seem that the Soccer Rangers always been a bad season, and that's kind of like the bad thing about it. And it sounds like people like in my opinion, something like that, who might judge the show based on that might judge the Soccer Rangers because they always try to judge Soccer Rangers by live action by them being evil. That's what if you read the comic books, they was actually forced to be that the evil Rangers to work for the Empress. I think
yeah,
something because it made some type of DLC would put them under some type of spell
yeah.
and
When the
stuff like
Cyber
that.
Rangers, you, yeah, Rangers be Sonic Super Sonic Rangers. Remember?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because if you put the Star Rangers on the good, they could be like a pretty much formable team.
Yeah,
Uh,
and
and that
I'll
could be
be
the next
fun
season.
numbers. Yeah,
Yeah, because the thing about me, and that was me, I will make a Soccer Ranger the next season, a Power Rangers, the new one,
new
and they
version,
get
not
the
the old
update
one.
on yeah, and they can choose new people. I think some of that just be Soccer Rangers besides themselves,
Yeah,
because if you look
yeah,
at it, it's two black Rangers, it's two red Rangers of the same color, stuff like that. They
yeah,
could do the same thing just with a Cycle team. I think, in my opinion, that
yeah.
would
You can tell. Yeah, um,
that would actually okay.
um,
Oh, and plus, and do you and do you think that if I was Netflix after this crossover part two, if they're making part two of the Monster Ranger thing, they might do Zeo and plus in space together, and they might need to bring back the Cycle Rangers. I think, in my opinion, that'd be a good idea to bring the Cycle Rangers and stuff like that as part of the in space Zeo team
right.
crossover thing. Uh, of them, in my opinion, just being good because they, in my opinion, that would give the Soccer Rangers redemption. I think, in my opinion, that would give them redemption. In my opinion, stuff like that. And it sounds like people might not like me saying this, but that's what it would give them, like redemption. And 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 kind of like of my opinion, something like that. And kind of like the other opinions, which I think right if they
Right.
do like Zeo, um would they bring back somebody from the big old machine empire if they do like a part two of it?
Yeah, maybe right.
Be, because the thing of me in my opinion is something like if they go Zeo or Samurai, um Cat is gonna have to explain when the big old machine empire came back doing that season and just tell Zach or Billy gonna have to tell him just about the Bill Machine Empire and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Uh, be, because thing about me, it sound like oh wait a minute how about they bring back the skeleton just the skeleton general that used to be with Goldar
Right.
along with somebody that is with the big old machine Empire generals. Those two like combined together, just trying to fight the Rangers, and and that'd be a good thing. Well, I think, in my opinion, be, be, because you remember right that like in part 1 in Once a Ranger, they had two people there at the beginning. They could do the same thing just for part 2. It sounds like you have a head man in the back and two generals right there. With that the fight, and just make it like a two-parter. I think, in my opinion, a two-parter movie. I think, in my opinion, would be a good thing because, in my opinion, if you go on the Mighty Morphin to Samurai, that would take a journey in between Trini daughter and Zach to just define the power. That'd be part 1 if Footer would come back to help him out to fight the generals and stuff like that and beat the bad guy in part 1. And but for part two, they could fight the bad guy, and just for the Rangers just had to fight the putties or some kind of Z putties in part 2 because they I mean, in my opinion, they, they gotta have to still train Trini daughter to just how to fight.
Yeah.
Because they I mean I like Trini daughter, but she kind of hot headed, like she showed in Once a Ranger. She kind of hot headed,
Yeah.
and kind of like people just might disagree with me with that, but that's what Trini daughter, Trini daughter. I like her, but she hot headed and stuff like that. In my opinion, stuff like that. For me, she is like a person to keep just to keep untrained. I think, in my opinion, on team because you have to train about self calm. Yeah, I think, in my opinion, and 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 kind of like for the second topic I want to talk about is like did you saw the Mortal Kombat trailer, the new one?
I know.
The Mortal Kombat trailer is kind of good. Because I pretty much can't show it on here because I think it's kind of violent and
Okay.
bloody,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Plus, yeah.
plus, yeah, and plus, YouTube got, how can I say, guidelines of you can't make money off of rap and stuff with there's a lot of blood and stuff on it. I hate that. I hate that part. Based on the
Yeah.
YouTube rules and stuff like that, I understand it, but I hate it. Um, and kind of, in my opinion, when you look at the trailer, it talks on Mortal Kombat 1 and put it scene like, in my opinion, it might be like a reset. Just for like the Mortal Kombat 11 game, if they actually played it and stuff like that, and kind of like in this trailer right here, I see it sounds like it sounds like a Mortal Kombat how can I say this um it seems like they bring back Fire Liu Kang the God. I think it's something like that. The
Right.
Mortal Kombat God of just Liu Kang being in it and Raiden in it and plus Tom and plus like Liu Kang partner Kang Lao, and kind of like my opinion from it. It's kind of like the cinematic trailer was good, but the thing about me was I'm worrying about Tulsa. It sound like the game, like my opinion, it sound like taking place in Earth realm, or sound like taking place like on some kind of alternate Earths that just
Yeah.
with the same characters. be, because the thing about that, because the thing about Mortal Kombat, they always got ultimate timelines and stuff that just with the same characters that got different outcomes because of Shang Tsung always be messing with stuff. And they
Yeah.
got always just had to stop them and kill them or something like that, just to keep the timeline stable. And kind of like the worst thing, in my opinion, just about the guys of Mortal Kombat, some of them, they just stand there. They just stand there, in my opinion, and just like Shang Tsung run them up. I'm looking at this, I say, wait a minute, aren't y'all gods?
Yeah.
Y'all supposed to keep the balance, uh, uh, unless some kind of Shang Tsung just know the loophole or something of the rules. That's not in my opinion because if you look at it, Shang Tsung was messing up a whole lot of timelines and stuff like that. And it sounds like the Mortal Kombat 11 game is the same like the only game that the gods has stepped, the gods soldiers step forth and just try to stop Shang Tsung. I think something like that. It's just the generals. But the thing about me, it seemed like the gods could get beat too. Up in the Mortal Kombat universe. I'm looking at this. I say, wait a minute. Is y'all gods or is y'all just people with power? Because in my opinion, it sounds like Jax, Scorpion, Sub Zero should not even be able to touch you. But that's what it sure
Yeah.
looked like they could. Steve something like that just got a blood, some type of family member that was a god or something like that, or also god. Because in my opinion, that up in DC and Marvel, no kind of superhero just gonna touch a god unless you get a boost just from a power source.
Yeah.
The last time I checked, because you look at it, if you look at Marvel, Iron Man, he had to touch some kind of crystal or something like that in order to get a boost, just to have a chance against a god. And, and, and plus for DC, Superman's automatically a god anyway. Shoot, that's not even a question. And some kind of hate for Batman. I don't know why people and Batman getting beat. But I look at them, I said, wait a minute now. If Batman went all his fights, that everybody would be saying to some Batman too perfect. Batman not realistic. Batman always winning, but that's why the writers write Batman losing sometimes just to make him relatable to the normal person. See, see human. But it's everybody probably on TikTok and YouTube talking something. Batman losing. Batman don't got no skills and stuff like that. Like that. I'm looking at them. I look at some they say. I say, wait a minute now. If this was y'all favorite characters, people hating on y'all were the first one that just tries to defend it and stuff like that. And and kind of like the people kind of forgets based on power scaling that some like the Marvel power scaling is based is just based on just being unrealistic and stuff like that. And and they try to make new heroes for X-Men, say for the Avengers to boost them up to awesome. They can take your power and use it. But I'm looking at them, I say, so you do know the characters got their limits, and
Yeah.
and, and so sometimes and people try to say that Batman couldn't survive in Marvel Spider-Man thing. I'm looking at them. I look at them. No, I say, tell some. Is y'all forgetting that Batman is rich? It, and he can actually put half of y'all favorite superheroes out of business, and he would actually be in it as a human and sell them. Come on now, because because that's what look at DC. Lex Luthor hate Batman because because just Batman just be buying half of his buildings when he was doing legal stuff in it. Come on,
Yeah.
what gonna make you think that Batman just can't survive in Spider-Man universe, the easiest universe, just to pretty much survive in? Cause if you look at it, Green Goblin, come on now, Batman beating him.
Yeah.
Come on now, Green Goblin. We talking about half of the robbers. Let me see now. The Spider-Man villains, man, that jump be easy. Spider-Man villains is not hard to
Defeat.
it's not really that hard if you look at it. Let me see now. Spider-Man villains. Uh kind of like Venom. Let me see. Let me try to see. Doctor Octopus. That might be a challenge, but easy. Dealing with Spider-Man tech stuff he got, that's easy. Scorpion, he's stupid. Spider-Man got him. Sandman might be kind of a challenge, but once he figured out water his weakness, he pretty much done. I think his hardest one might be Kraven the Hunter, and kind of like Mysterio. Batman could figure him out because that's what is. If Batman, in my opinion, could beat Scarecrow, which actually used tear gas on people, if he
Yeah.
could beat Scarecrow now, come on now, Mysterio ain't nothing to
Yeah.
him.
That's it.
Electro, Electro, I like him, but he's not beating Batman unless he trains somewhere. Shocker, he's stupid because that's why he does a robber. The Lizard, I like him, but he's dead against Batman. Because you look at Lizard, the shoot the Lizards don't have no fighting skills. He depend on his weight and powers as the Lizard to beat Spider-Man, and Spider-Man dumb because I'm looking at this. I say, wait a minute now. How you got senses in Scorpion, Lizard, and all the characters who make noise be able to sneak up behind you? I'm looking at you. I say, uh, I like him, but nah. Kingpin, he's dead because you look at if you look at Batman, Batman just gonna buy him out and put him in prison. He pretty much done. Man, should they characters could not have survive in DC. Vulture, he's in prison in less than a day. Come on now, the Black Cat, she saw like Catwoman, and Batman just want to sleep with her and keep her going. Charmeleon, he's man, man, shoot, man, shoot. Half these characters can't even survive in DC. All except for missing negative in Spider Man. He's not the only one who might have a chance just to survive in DC and stay out for a while. Hobgoblin, he done. Hobgoblin and Green Goblin, those two people, they just too crazy to keep this stuff alive. I think, in my opinion, and they got time, which don't make sense. I think, in my the Prowler. Wait a minute now.
Yeah.
But the Prowler is not even a Spider-Man villain though.
No.
It's not even a Spider-Man villain. I don't get how half these and kind of like the bad thing about it, which and kind of like the bad thing about it sounds like they try to get Spider-Man wins when he just be surviving. I'm looking at them. I said, how you giving Spider-Man wins? Spider-Man can't even beat Venom. And he was a Venom before. He know Venom weakness, and he still can't beat him. I don't get it. Because you look at Batman, right? If Batman fights somebody, he know your weakness and
Yeah.
he know how to beat them
Yeah.
and, and stuff like that. And you try to tell me, up in there that that you think Spider Man could be Batman, and he can't even beat Craven the Hunter, a human with some powers. Come on now, and Craven the Hunter is not even as trained as Batman in all kind of martial arts. We so like Craven Hunter is trained, know how to hunt people down and stuff like that. But the thing about he's not a trained martial artist. Sound like Batman who know how to think ahead of time and stuff like that. And that what people forgets most of the time is dealing with. If you're dealing with fighters and stuff like that, and dealing with Spider-Man, Spider-Man has trouble with people that know how to fight. Because so you look at the MCU, in Civil War, Captain America show you that. Captain America show you that.
Yeah.
Captain America just yank him in and knock him out. And you telling me that you put the has spider senses and you let him do that to you? Man, so you must be no man. No man. Because that jump's getting on my nerves, bro. I look at him and tell something. He's supposed to beat Batman. I'm looking at y'all, I say, shoot, and he not beating Batman. That um just like some kind of older Spider-Man. If you talk about Toby Spider-Man could be Batman, and I said okay because you look at Toby smart, he know how to strategize with people and stuff like that. If you talk Toby Spider-Man beating Batman, I said okay, I can live with that. But when people talk about
Yeah.
some just when people tell me Tom Holland Spider-Man supposed to be Batman, I said um have anybody not seen Batman be Superman?
Yeah.
He would beat up a whole room versus killers. He beat a whole room versus killers, and you try to tell me that is that is that Tom Holland Spider Man supposed to be beating Ben Affleck Batman? Man, shoot. Boy, I'll look at y'all like y'all dumb. I'll look at them like they're dumb, man. I'll look at them like they're dumb. After you tell me that, Be- because that's just me. Because the thing about me, my opinion, tell some that when you tell me like different versions of Spider Man supposed to beat Ben Affleck Batman versus Ruthless by himself,
Yeah.
man, y'all dumb, y'all dumb, and and kind of like and kind of like the last thing, and kind of the last thing, in my opinion, which I would also like to see based on Batman, Superman, stuff like that. It's the same it sound like the other I think sound like I hate to tell James Young that his best Superman that he can cast is sound like Henry Cavill. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
Henry Henry Cavill is my opinion it sounds like the best choice. It sounds like the best choice in my opinion as Superman because that's what if you try to bring in somebody new, it's
Number
too
watch it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just too much. It's just too much, in my opinion, as a gamble. I think, in my opinion, because that's just me. That just me as a business person and as a fan. Because if you look at it, should the general public because the general public hate looking at new stuff. I hate to tell
Yeah.
people this, and Warner Brothers. I hate to tell them, but that's what the general public, in my opinion, hate looking at new people that once they're used to one person. Because that's what look at the rumors of people saying they're supposed to bring a new Iron Man, and people got mad and stuff like that of the
Yeah.
general public because you know I say talk some. dog, dog on right that people is how to get mad and stuff like that when you try to bring in a new Iron Man and stuff like that, because that's what Robert Downey Jr. is already there. Because it's cheaper to bring back Henry Cavill. It's cheaper to bring him back than you try to bring in somebody new. And when that movie flopped, you got to bring back Henry Cavill anyway and stuff like that. Be, because you look at the way just what Iron Man when he was in the first Spider-Man movie, that first Spider-Man movie made a lot of money because of Iron Man being in it. It was
Yeah,
it was not $1 billion movie because of Tom Holland. It, so, in my opinion, I hate to tell these MCU people that, but that's what shoot the Tom Holland movie, Spider Man the first one did not make $1 billion because of him himself. It made $1 billion because of Robert Downey Jr. being in it with him. And
um,
and WB the
mhm.
the WB and James Gunn is making a big mistake if they don't bring back Henry Cavill.
Yeah, but it's why? Come on.
Because if you look at it, Henry Cavill singly carried The Witcher the first 2 seasons.
Yeah,
If you look at Netflix, the people didn't care about the other characters; they just care about The Witcher. And Henry Cavill
yeah,
Witcher was actually good.
yeah,
And kind of like the other thing, in my opinion, other thing, which I noticed about some of these new DC fans I'm seeing, which I seen most of the time, doing them TikTok, and this them talks on, we need somebody new as Superman. This us, no say talk some. It
yeah,
took us about 10 or 15 years just to get Henry Cavill a new Superman
yeah,
there on screen, and you try to tell us to look for a new one. That jump won't work because that's what if you do that, that's gonna be another 10 or 15 year break of a
yeah,
Superman movie that we don't want. Because that's what we already got a new Batman already just for Earth 2. We already got in Wonder Woman. We already got in Shazam movie out. We get a plus our Aquaman 2, and that's kind of sad because we get an Aquaman 2 before we get a Superman 2 and stuff like that. And 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 and, and kind of like for me, in my opinion, shoot, we should have had an Aquaman 2. We should have had a big old Shazam 2, a Wonder Woman 2. But the thing, in my opinion, we need to bring back Ben Affleck as Batman, just for the Planet
yeah,
Earth. Because think about it, we already got Batman just for Earth 2, Robert, just the Rob Pattinson Batman, and kind of like the other thing. I wish I want to see this. It sounds like just for Earth 2, right? Like in the comic books,
right,
it sounds like if Earth 2 is dark, right?
right,
Just with Balzar and Power Girl stuff like that,
hmm,
they could bring in like a new Superman for that Earth.
yeah. Just like they did, yeah,
And, in my opinion, that's just me. I will bring in some like a new Superman different Earth 2 if WB
yeah,
just gonna do like that, and just for like Earth 1, in my opinion, that of Earth 1 just bring back Henry Cavill. Earth 2 is Val Zod, and they can bring back let me see, Earth 1. Velzar is Earth 2. And he Earth 2, right? Velzar Earth 2, right?
the
And
new Superman, yeah, for sure.
yeah,
So yeah, That one, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because in my opinion, tells they need to cast about two different Supergirls. I think
yeah.
just for Earth One
Superman
and Earth
characters.
Two.
Yeah, they
I,
probably
I
go from Earth 2, then be
yeah
Earth 1, somebody crisis something else, somebody,
yeah the,
then retcon to be 2 or 1, somebody like that.
mm-hmm. Because thing for me, right, is they keep on if they keep on casting two Supermans, two Batmans, two Aquamans off of each Earth, and by the time they end of Phase 2 or Phase 3, they can have their own Infinity War.
Yeah,
If you look at it, because you look at it took about 2 or 3 phases to get to Infinity War, I think, and stuff like that. If they're doing that, I think, in my opinion, um, it didn't.
You got the phone, the charger.
It's charging.
Mm. Did you send the 10 to the
It's at 43.
Did you send the 10 to the cash app?
I think that's. Dang, you can't wait. Shoot.
Huh?
I got switch signals.
Switch it?
No, my freezing.
Oh. Oh. Let me look at my thing up here. Hold on. Look. The internet should be working.
On yours or theirs?
No, mine. Cash app to me. $10.
I think.
Wait a minute. Let me
Check your thing again. Because my thing keep on freezing up on my end. Did it went through?
That's amazing perspective to be in such an awful situation, be able to think like, okay, what
Yeah, it went through.
you push it through?
Oh, man. It took a while.
It went through.
Oh, okay.
Hillary gave me the 60. We gave me the 20. Thanks.
Okay. It took a while though.
Make sure what you doing your thing. Oh, okay. Okay. You got you something to eat yet tonight? Did you get you something to eat?
Yeah. I ate my personal earlier.
Did you just sandwich? Because we only eating sandwich tonight, ham sandwich and turkey.
Okay, I'll see something.
Okay.
Okay. I just was help my mother with something.
that's okay.
Oh shit. Um and and kind of like the other thing I want to see happen for DC, right, and stuff like that. It sounds like when this Flash will make money, they need to cash they need to cash a big old reverse flash or zoom,
Yes,
whatever
they
one
need to.
they just gonna do,
That's a good idea, yeah.
because
It,
because they me in my opinion, which I know the stuff like, and then with Flash movie, shoot, you can have a big old reverse flash up to 2 or 3 movies that
yeah,
based on the rivalry they have, because their rivalry is long.
yeah,
Yeah, because and the kind of other things sound like and they might need to cast Flash team members that work with them. I think stuff like that. The next Flash movie, because you need a big old computer person. You need somebody who gonna play his father, who worked for the police department, and some kind of builder person, that kind of tech person. I think so, because didn't Flash have a 4 or 5 people he worked with
yeah.
besides Green? Yeah, besides the Green Arrow, because
Just the
I hate.
Jaguars. Cisco Ramon, Keaton's no. Dr. Hashimwell or just Don and, and
Oh,
Joe
okay,
West.
okay.
That was the one.
Because the thing about me and my opinion stuff that it is like should they need to have like a big old for me, for me, right, in Flash 2, right, I would bring in the Green Arrow that just to hype up his movie. Because you need to cast because you need to cast a Green Arrow real quick while you got my mental for Marvel. Because think about it, Marvel already got Hawkeye, and you need a Green Arrow and stuff like that. In my opinion, that'd be good, and that'd be good to see. And that would be good to see because right, you know what I mean. Sound like Marvel had cast Iron Man just at the end, just in the Hulk movie, the Incredible Hulk, and
Yeah.
everybody just hype off of that. And they need to bring in Green Arrow or somebody just at the end of the Flash movie to work with on Flash and Flash 2. I think, in my opinion, it, it, it's it's people might hate me for just for saying it and stuff like that. Of my opinion, stuff like that. And shoot, that just me. That just me, in my opinion. It sounds like people just might hate me just for saying that all the other stuff and stuff like that. Because they might hate me just for saying all some these characters and stuff like that. It might be too much, but that's what but the Flash and Green Arrow always work together in the comic books. And but they had a movie together, The Brave and the Bold. Could it just do that just for a Flash 2 movie and just bring in Brave and the Bold and just bring that to live action?
Possibly, yeah.
Uh, because and kind of like the thing for TikTok, in my opinion, shoot, I don't want to hear from people talk some. Um, that's not comic accurate. Shoot, the MCU is not even comic accurate, and y'all don't say nothing about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that be like the main complaint that I be hearing from people because I'm looking at people saying how some of the DCU is not like a how can I say this? And it sounds like the MCU is not like stuff like that. You do know that the MCU is not comic accurate and complaining about Batman be not being
Yeah.
comic accurate and nothing about y'all moves in the MCU. Uh, um, because right now, if I go through the MCU movie list right now, not obviously they're not being comic accurate because the thing is, I already know that you can't bring everything for time to me based based on what the studio just let you do and stuff like that. I actually, my opinion, as a DC fan and Marvel fan, understand like you can't do, and it kind of like thing for me, would kind of put me in the middle because I'm looking at people like this. I say, wait a minute now. I'm looking at y'all. I say, wait a minute. Y'all can't even make these movies good. Y'all gotta make these movies good, man. Come on. Because y'all can't tell me, y'all can't tell me up in there is that y'all MC movies is good and not even comic accurate for DC and and kind of like me being in the middle. I get the worst of both because that's what they're always saying. Awesome. If you ain't team DC, you team Marvel. If you ain't team Marvel, you team DC. I say I like both. What the worst wrong with y'all? I just don't get it.
Yeah, just be simple.
And plus, the anime community is even worse sometimes
Yeah,
because they
the
like yeah,
much fan service
because
upon the anime go crazy, right?
yeah, because of anime, I like anime and stuff like that. In my opinion, I do like some of the shows in anime, but I do like Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, High School DxD, everything else like that. Dealing with anime, it sounds like, in my opinion, I already know for me, if I put out some type of review on Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball Super was trash, I can all it wasn't trash, but it wasn't good. It just was an average show. It was kind of like, in my opinion, disrespected the power scale. In my opinion, if you look at the show, because think about me doing the tournament of power, a Super Saiyan 3, a Super Saiyan 3 combined should not be able to hang with a Super Saiyan God Ultra. Come on now, that makes no sense. If you is a Super Saiyan 3 or 4, you should not be able to hang with a God at no point, unless you fast or quick or something like that. That's probably the only way that you probably stay away from a God. I think just for a little while, but that won't work because that Super Saiyan God Ultra still would get you just at the end of the day, and that won't make no sense for me, in my opinion, to see that. And but they call some Super Saiyan God. A Super Saiyan God is a same level of Super Saiyan 3 doing tournament power. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at that, and people are saying in the comments or other comments, they Khalifa just for a different earth. That's why she able to keep up with him. I'm looking at them. I say, um, Goku, Vegeta was the Super Saiyan 3, and they wasn't keeping up with no God. Because come on, look at the first time of Beerus and Goku fight. Beerus was holding back. Come on now, come on now, that jump don't make sense. And kind of like the new power levels they got, it kind of some Piccolo is orange. They got Vegeta as Ego, and they got Goku as some kind of new form he got, and Gohan got a new form. And plus, I'm looking at everybody. I said, wait a minute now. In all this time, Gohan should have been the most powerful one. I think, in my opinion, because they might not like me, but that's what I like Goku. And it sounds like the show, in my opinion, supposed to have been by Gohan just after the Cell series, and and, and they just brought back Goku because the fans was like I'm complaining to some, why you kill Goku? I say, wait a minute, you got your you got your other Super Saiyan right there in Gohan. Goku died, but that's why they could have brought him back later and stuff like that. But that's why this should have kept Goku. No, just like Goku, but it should have kept Gohan as just as the most powerful because that's what he's smart. He's smart. He know how to fight, and he know how to come up with strategies. And he could have been the star of the Dragon Ball Z series. But that's what the fans of Goku just just cannot let it go. And that's
Yeah,
why we
you're
stuck with
completely right.
Goku as just as being overhyped and plus overpowered. All because the fans couldn't let go this after the Cell series. Because I'm looking at them, I say, your Super Saiyan is right there in front of you, and Gohan. Wait for him to grow up a little bit, then you bring back Goku. When you got to fight Frieza or something like that, and Gohan need help, then you bring back Goku. That would make more sense, in my opinion.
Yes,
But
you're
it seemed
right.
like, in my opinion, but but it seemed like, in my opinion, it seemed like that people couldn't wait. Cause I'm looking at them, I say, that why y'all mad now? Why y'all mad 9 years later of Goku just getting all the shine? I'm looking at y'all, I say, uh-huh. Shall we been saying this years before time that this would happen? I'm telling. I'm looking at them. I look at everybody comments now talking some Goku overhyped. Goku just got plot armor. I'm looking at them. You know what I'm saying? We've been saying this years ago, before this time, that just after the Cell series. So we've been saying this is sound like y'all should have built up Gohan just after Goku died, and now they're seeing years later also
Continue.
when's the writers when the writers and producers just gonna upgrade Gohan. You know what I'm saying? Talking something. I've been saying this just after the Cell series. Talking something. If y'all would have wait a little while, if y'all would have wait at least a season or two, build up Gohan over the years, and y'all would have a power up Gohan, and y'all didn't have to worry about Goku, Vegeta, just, just have to carry a team. I'm looking at them. I say, come on now. I'm looking at everybody. I say, why? I'm mad. I'm looking at everybody. I say, why? And now y'all suckers up in here just want to complain about just want just want to complain about Goku just having plot armor. I say if y'all would have let him die back then, and stuff like that. If y'all would let him die a long time ago in the Cell series, and y'all could
Yeah.
have built up Gohan, Vegeta, Piccolo, Krillin, Tien, they could have built up a whole lot of characters to power up a lot more than they did. But it seemed like to me, in my opinion, it seemed like the fans were thinking with their feelings, just to studying what they bring and stuff like that. Because they might, if you were talking about the Witcher show, you know what I say? Shoot, the Witcher just can't die. I, I understand that show because you need a Witcher to just to keep balance and stuff like that, or just for the Witcher to pass on his genes to a child or something like that. You have a child or kids, he can pass down his genes to them. I think and stuff like that. That'd be a good thing if they can do that. And kind of like the other thing I'm worrying about, and kind of the other thing I'm worrying about, and dealing with this MCU, it sounds like them messing up the how would it like betray the X-Men's characters doing this new MCU, and that's my problem. Um, and kind of like everybody was saying talk something. Shoot, the X-Men is supposed to say the MCU. I'm looking at them. I say, shoot, they can't
How?
even shoot, they can't even write She-Hulk right, an easy character. They can't even get She-Hulk right. And y'all not like concerned about Fezzi Xavier, Magneto, Beast, Iceman, Wolverine, and y'all not even concerned and stuff like that. And it sounds like the only character they got right so far is like Doctor Strange, and he was nerfed
Yeah.
doing that movie dealing with the multiverse of madness. He was nerfed doing that movie just to buff up Scarlet Witch. I like Scarlet Witch, but she can't beat Doctor Strange full power, and he is a sorceress on supreme and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And, and he's supposed to be the one to keep balance in the universe, and y'all made her more powerful than him. I'm looking at y'all. I say, y'all do know up in the future, right? If y'all do that, right, like Scarlet Witch is gonna be forced to work with Doctor Strange to keep balancing the universe, and she's a
Yeah.
mutant, which don't make sense because that's I like Scarlet Witch, but she not more powerful than Doctor Strange, unless they boost her up in the movie. That's the only way to make her just to make her more powerful than him is to boost her up, and that would have seen they did. They boost her up and stuff like that. Time for the movies and stuff like that, in my opinion. And dealing with this dealing with the universe. Next topic I want to talk about is the Star Wars universe right here. Is some Star Wars universe I want to see is the future Star Wars universe without Ray and stuff like that. Because thing about the Ray character, I don't hate her, but she should
But
not
it's
be
being
get her.
and being made timeline. So he was being alternate
Yeah,
universe, or at least alternate timeline for where somebody else would be different person.
because they need a future of Star Wars. I think, in my opinion, they do need a future. The future, the future of the temples. That should they need to have temples up, just training Jedi's. They should have temples for Jedi's. They should have one just for gray Jedi's and one for Siths, and just let people train on their own, whatever one they want to do. Because think about it, if you look at it, not all Sith was evil. If you look at the universe, shoot, it been for Siths who just want to walk on their own and stuff like that, and just have their own rules. But the thing is, all Sith did like the Empire that people claim they did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you look at the Sith order, all Sith all Sith evil is not the same. Because like some of the Sith just been forced to be there as kids and stuff like that, as spoilers of war or something like that. Just be part of the Empire and they were forced to be there. They just trained to be a Sith, but they never became Sith all the way. And that's why some of them probably could be like a gray Jedi instead of them just as a full Jedi because think about when you look at gray Jedi's, gray Jedi's in between Sith and Jedi at the same time. If you look at it, and some like the dark Jedi's is in between. And if you look at it, if you look at history now, some of the dark Jedi's is just more dangerous than the Sith themselves.
Yeah.
I think that's
I
what I
agree
think
on
in
that.
my opinion. Because if you look at it, because like the dark Jedi's know the Jedi's they know their procedures, they know their rules, they know how to hurt them and stuff like that. And it sounds like being part of the Jedi order give them an advantage when they turn evil, just how to hurt them. Because the thing, in my opinion, that's why they have council, bodyguards and stuff like that, just in case, just in case one of the Jedi turn evil, and they could send like bounty hunters and Jedi's to get them and put them in jail
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And some of the Jedi's, in my opinion, became dark for no reason in the comic book because some of them claimed how some they couldn't kill, but I'm looking at them. I say you can't kill everybody who who are just in war with because you got to put them in prison. Give them a chance to change. If they're willing to change, then you put them in some type of rehab thing, dealing with Jedi or Sith or stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some type of halfway house to give them a chance to change stuff like that. Because the thing about if you look, some of the people on the council was really Siths before they switched over. The Jedi's and stuff like that. Because you look at back in the day, some of the Jedi's actually was Sith before they turned good and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And some of the dark Jedi's wanted to kill the people that was evil straight out, and some of the council people just had to stop them and tell them that you can't do that, which is actually the right thing, which actually good. I think in my opinion for the council to get council advice. But the things in my opinion, which I don't agree with the council with, it sounds like you can't have wives and husbands. I'm looking at them. I say um That's dumb. In my opinion, you can't have wives and husband and they made it
It's
like restricted.
yeah,
Yeah, and that's dumb in my opinion. Thought you can have attachment because that's what if you pretty much protecting the universe, that is your attachment, protecting other people and stuff like that. Up in my opinion, that is your attachment by itself, and in the concept also, you can't have attachments, you can't have kids and stuff like that early on. But I'm looking at them, I say, if y'all don't, if y'all don't have husbands and wives, then it's just, and who gonna be the new Jedi's and stuff like that? If your Jedi Council can't have kids, which is dumb, which I think in my opinion was actually a dumb rule, but think about it, some people like the rule, some people don't. But thing like me, I don't like the rule. Them not being able to have kids and stuff like that, which don't make sense. Which I think, in my opinion, which don't make sense for me. But think about it, other people think it do make sense, which don't. Which I think, in my opinion, is actually dumb. But everybody different than me though. It's time for rules and stuff and what they want. Um, and did you know, like, back in the older days, it was Sith more powerful than Darth Vader, which is people fail to realize. Because if you look at the Sith that's back in the day, some of them Sith was more dangerous than Darth Vader. When the judge back in the day just had to deal with something like Darth
yeah,
Bane, Darth Plagueis, and stuff like that.
yeah,
Because I'm looking at people, I say tell some if you seen Darth Bane and Darth Plagueis on screen, y'all will be like forgetting about Darth Vader as being the most powerful Sith. That what people, in my opinion, fail to realize. That should that just me. If we look at the comic books, Darth Vader is not the most powerful Sith. He is now since he got new abilities, but that's what back in the day in the older comic books, he he wasn't the most powerful Sith. That was Darth Bane, Darth Plagueis, Darth
yeah,
Raven. Darth Raven was actually more powerful than Darth Vader back in the day in the comic books too. That Darth Vader is just the most hype Siths and stuff like that altogether. He just the most hype, but stands he not the most powerful and stuff like that. Which people like in my opinion fail to realize. And from my opinion, that just me. That just me in my opinion, without realizing it. And stuff like that. And kind of like the other thing in my opinion, which I want to see and stuff like that, is like which I like to see up in my opinion, stuff like that. At time for like comic books and stuff like that. For me, that with kind of like for me, right? This which I want to see for the Star Wars universe is something like for me, right? It's something like this. You say like for Universe One, that's the main universe, and Universe Two, Ray is in it. You know what I mean? It sound like put Ray and everything like that. And Universe Two and Universe One, you just put the future in it, which I think, in my opinion, which actually be a good thing for me. In my opinion, that's what I think. And and sometimes I think that people actually forget sometimes about it. Most of the time, like there was Star Wars universe because think for me, right? When you really think about the Star Wars universe as a whole, the Star Wars universe is actually a good universe. If you take out episode 8 and 9 and take out season 3, some of season 3 of the Mandalorian, that's actually a good thing. I think, in my opinion.
yeah. I got that. Sure.
And kind of like the bad thing, in my opinion, and put it on some Cafe Kennedy supposed to make changes, but I'm looking at it. I I'm not seeing no changes that she making and stuff like that as they claiming and stuff like that. Because I'm looking at them and stuff like that. I say, wait a minute, what's the changes that y'all talking about that she's supposed to be making? Because shoot, I'm not seeing any changes and stuff like that. I'm not seeing any changes. And kind of like the other bad thing, which I would like to see, which I like to see and stuff like that, of my opinion and stuff like that, which I think in my opinion will be good, bad, and in between. But but thing about me in my opinion, stuff like that, of my opinion, which some people might agree with, might not agree with, is sound like in my opinion, it seems like the new Star Wars fans, in my opinion, don't like the older Star Wars movies just because it don't fit their narrative. I think and stuff like that. Which I be looking at them. I say, I'm looking at them. I say, really? Because I'm looking at them. I say, really, yo? I'm looking at everybody and stuff like that. I'm looking at everybody. I'm looking at everybody. I'm looking at everybody like in the comment section who like these new Star Wars and stuff like that. Man, I'll be mad sometimes, man. I'll be mad sometimes just looking at just looking at these new fans. Just looking at the new fan stuff because cause I'm
Right.
looking at them. I'm looking at them. I look at them. So you pretty much disrespecting the old stuff, but that's what it wasn't for the old stuff. You want to for your thing
Yeah.
and stuff like that, which I don't get. Which I don't get half of the time because I'm looking at them. I'm looking at them half of the time. I say, really? You disrespecting the old Star Wars, which were made Kylo Ren, Finn, the Mentos. Come on now, that's in my opinion to do that.
Yeah.
Shoot, that's just me. That's just me in my opinion. And kind of like an episode, because right when you look at the prequels in the original trilogy, the prequel, the 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 first three movies of the prequels explain the reason why Darth Vader is just the way he is. It made that it made like the original trilogy stronger if you look at because the original trilogy been by Luke Skywalker and plus the prequels been by Anakin Walker and stuff like that. If you look at it,
Mm.
Anakin and Luke Skywalker's story was good. It was one story, but the story still was good just at the same time. And kind of like I don't think that Mace is dead either. In my opinion, should that just I think in my opinion he did. I think and just knowing Mace, I think in my opinion, shoot, he might be trying to draw out in my opinion, Count
Right.
Dooku,
Yeah.
that that like in my opinion, if you're gonna make a show, you're gonna have to make a Mace show of him trying to fight Count Dooku and draw him out and actually fight him and beat him. Uh, because that we all know that Darth Vader don't want to fight Mace anyway. So we know that because he tried as
Yeah.
Anakin and he didn't win
Yeah.
and stuff. Because Darth Vader, I like Darth Vader, but that's what we all know that Mace was a great Jedi because that's what he know how to control the light and the dark at the same time, and that is dangerous just for a Sith. It's stuff like that to fight people that know how to fight with both sides of the Force. That's bad for them and stuff like that. And kind of like the people probably could say I'm just being a fanboy, but that's what look at the great Jedi's. They know how to they know how to control both sides of the Force. They're more powerful than the Sith and Jedi combined. If they wanted to take over the Jedi's or the Sith, they can do it and stuff like that. Because that's what if you look at Mace by himself, shoot, Mace Mace had made Count Dooku ran up in the prequels to his spaceship, and that was Count Dooku, and he was a Sith counselor by himself, and he made him run to the spaceship Mace Windu. And could you imagine like a whole army of Mace Windu's or students just as good? Oh man, the Sith in trouble and stuff like that, in my opinion. And kind of like the Jedi Council was blinded to the dark forces, and kind of like people probably say I'm hating, but that's the thing that Yoda Yoda, in my opinion, was supposed to be the reason that just the reason everything like that to be able to sense stuff coming. But the thing about it, it sounded like that was Mace and stuff like that in the prequels that could have sensed something coming, and he would try to ask Yoda what was happening. But that's what Yoda couldn't see it, and he puts me like the vision person, Yoda and somebody else on the council. They can never see it, but the thing is, in my opinion, Star Wars, if you look at the prequels, it will Mace that could have actually sensed something coming, but he just couldn't prove it and stuff like that. If you look at the prequels, and kind of the thing about it, the next thing it sounds like the Alien Universe, right? Barcode, if right, if they making it like an original story, right, or original movie based on the Alien franchise, if they're doing that, um, they need to go back. They need to have like one of the companies, the whaling companies, I think something like that, just try to get the alien species and they get killed, or they was the one that dropped the egg down there just to kill the citizens that's down there. That'd be a good thing if they can do that, because like once you land like an alien egg like in an area with some aliens, that would actually kill some people. The aliens and stuff like that, just going on people bodies with acid and stuff like that, and they hatch more aliens and more people be there. And plus, the whaling company is dirty anyway, so we know that the whaling company, man, should be willing to kill and stuff like that. Man, I'm saying they're willing to kill just to keep this secret. Because if you look at the other alien movies, so they never really know where it's going though, and stuff like that. And kind of like in my opinion, stuff like that. And that just me. Oh man, they want to bring back Ray to be a bigger part of the new Star Wars universe.
No, just make her to be universal.
That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work right there.
No,
That
just make her
man,
difficult from the shows. Yeah, make her know something else. Someone who was a distant of Jedi, some of that, or
I, I
secret
hate
kid, some of that.
I hate that part though. I hate that part because I'm
Because
looking at them.
yeah,
It, because that what me too. I'm looking at them and stuff like that. I look. I'm looking at them. I say, you want to make Ray a bigger part of the Star Wars universe after you see Episode 8 and 9 lost money. You want to bring her back?
yeah,
I'm looking at them. I say, why, man? I say, why? And that just in my opinion, which is bad because I'm looking at them. I say, y'all did not, in my opinion, learn y'all lesson at all.
yeah,
Y'all didn't learn y'all lesson at all based on the story because that's what that if you bring a Ray back, you gotta have to like rewrite her whole story.
yeah,
Because that story for Episode 8 and 9 cannot stand in the future, so you can't do it.
you know,
Uh, um, and it kind of like dumb thing about it. It sound like they need to say, in my opinion, it sound like Ray is not a Palpatine. They just need to say that, take that part out, because in my opinion, it's like that don't make sense. In my opinion, that don't, which is my opinion, just don't make sense in my opinion, stuff like that. It sound like you try to bring all these stuff in. You try to bring back Ray. Y'all try to bring this early, man. I'll be mad, bro. I'm looking at everybody. I say, really? I'm looking at the stories. I say, really, man? I say, why you want to bring back Ray? Uh, Unless this is a different Ray, just from like a whole different universe. You know what I mean?
yeah. I hope so for you. I hope so.
And stuff like that. I can work with that. But you can't tell me that that it's supposed to be the same Ray that's in the same universe as Episode 8 and 9.
Yeah,
They carefully can they not learn? They carefully not learn is that nobody liked the race story in Episode 8 and 9.
yeah,
Because then my opinion tells them if she didn't see the comments been saying tells them we don't hate the Ray character or the
no,
actress
it's
that
just
how it's
how a
written.
point in the lore.
Yeah, and, and but it kind of seems like, in my opinion, it's like some of the Disney employees have a problem with it. I'm looking at them. I say, have y'all not seen y'all stories? Have y'all not seen the movie and stuff like that? I'm looking at them. I say, why, and stuff. But I'm looking at them. I say, why, dog? I'm looking at them. I say, why? And plus, I'll be mad, bro. I'll be mad, bro. Looking at some of these people. I say I just be getting on my nerves and stuff like that. Man, so I'll be looking at people and stuff like that, like in the comment section. I know I say tell something, man. I start to be getting on my nerves half of the time. Some of y'all Disney employees, because you look at new Disney employees, some of the employees claim that they be having the best story. I say, have y'all not seen Episode 8, 9? It's not a good story and stuff like that. And plus that jump getting on my nerves half of the time too. That jump getting on my nerves half of the time. I say, why? Because I'm looking at them. I say, because I look at that. I say, why, man? Should that
Yeah,
jump get on my nerves some of the time? It's stuff like that for me. For just for me, in my opinion, stuff like that is it sounds like the other And it's some of the other thing I noticed, like dealing with new Star Wars employees at Disney, it seems like some of the Star Wars employees don't know how to keep their cool because thing about me, it sound like the older Star Wars people. Um,
Right.
should they hear the bill complaints of the fans and they actually see it and they actually like make changes, settle changes onto the franchise, the animation, or some kind of live action, something like that. They don't like talk junk to the fan, tell some y'all don't know in my opinion what y'all talking about and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, because you look at James Gunn, yeah, James Gunn kind of learned from they kind of learned from Disney just what just what not to do and stuff like that, which I noticed it is sometimes people might agree with just not saying that. Some people do. Just stuff like that. People might like it, people might not like it, but that's just me in my opinion. Shoot, and that's what I notice most of the time. And kind of like the one thing that I want to see happen in the future and stuff like that. Which I think, in my opinion, what could be a good, bad, and something in between is is like the other thing. Like I want to see, like if they do like a Star Wars series, they need to have one about bounty hunters, just how to train bounty hunters and Jedi's and Siths in the school. Uh, of them like um, working together, going on adventures and stuff like that. Because if you look at the game and stuff like that with Star Wars, they always had a
Right.
bounty hunter. I think they had a bounty hunter, a droid, or a Jedi or two with them. Sound like a 4 or 5 person team that's going on missions and stuff like that. It if they can have that in Star Wars and actually be good, oh boy, did Disney be back. But the thing about my opinion, it sounds like I don't think that Kathleen Kennedy have learned her lesson, in my opinion. And shoot, that just me. I just mean my that's what I think. Because you look at episode 4, episode 8 and 9, Kathleen Kennedy been stubborn. Because I'm looking at her, I say, how in the hell work and stuff like that. I'm looking at all these things. I say you is a stubborn person and not to see all this and stuff like that. Just after
Yeah.
episode 8, because that's what and that was me and stuff like that. Shoot, I wouldn't I wouldn't have even made episode 8 once I saw the script because shoot, I saw that script saying some Luke Skywalker throw with a saber. I would have said change the whole movie. I don't care. Change the script, everything like that. I said, come on now. You don't expect me to do this because you don't expect me to approve this movie, right? Tell us on Luke Skywalker just trying to kill kids. Luke Luke Skywalker just ain't trained mission. I say that jump don't work because that's what when you look at the original trilogy, just even Obi-Wan helped Luke Skywalker for a while, just before Luke went on his own adventure and stuff like that. I keep on saying to myself, I keep on saying to myself, I tell some Catholic Kennedy, Catholic, Catholic Kennedy been there the whole time with George Lucas, and she still messed it up. I say, how do you mess up the easiest layup in history? He gave her the scripts. That's the easiest layup that she could have done.
Yeah.
she had in history. She wanted to do her own thing, and now the Star Wars universe is messed up because of her. And trying like people, in my opinion, that could be saying that I'm hating stuff like that, but that's what I am not hating. Because you look at the script that George Lucas had, they said that the script explained everything about the force, just about the measurement of the force, everything like that. He had a 3 or 4 movie script, and she threw it away. And I was mad, bro. I heard that. I was mad, bro, when I heard that. Cause I'll keep on looking at you. Man, I was looking. I was mad. I saying, why in the world would you throw away the big old man who made a franchise? He give you a script. Use it. How hard can that be?
Not so hard.
Man, that's what I thought. And because you look at the Mandalorian season 1 and 2 was good. Season 3, people hate it because they said that
That's right. That's right.
they can tell that Disney and because I'm looking at this. I keep on saying Kathleen Kennedy need to stay out of certain stuff. I think, in my opinion, if she not help making it, I just would tell her that just stay out the way. Because you look at it, can you look at it right now? People like season 1 of the Mandalorian. People like season 2. The fans like season 1 and 2 because it seems like the Disney people have stayed out the way. Season 3, say Kathy Kennedy was on saying dumb. Then she learned for episode 8 and 9. I say, come on. Because she should have just scrapped episode 8 in the sequel trilogy. Because I was mad, bro. I say, why? Because that you look at
Yeah.
episode, because you look at 7 and 8, they could have been looking for a Jedi. They could look for a Jedi besides Luke to help him out to fight Kylo Ren and plus a head Sith and Snoke. Because if you look at it, stuff that also Kylo Ren could have been fighting Rey and Snook and Snook, I think, could have been like the Jedi who just fight the new Luke Skywalker at the end, along with Snook always had General Film, the Red Knight. Because if you look at it, 3 Jedi's, 3 sets of enemies. The first enemy, Kylo Ren, Rey, just after her training for a while. Those two come in fighting. The next fight, the Knights of Ren, all Knights of Ren that is red, that is like real trained fighters, and they could have had like the new Jedi, something like Finn. They could have had him fight the Knights of Ren along with the new person that was the Jedi with him, or some kind of bounty hunter, or anybody, a bounty hunter, Mandalorian. It don't matter. It could have had somebody helping out Finn against the Knights, and like for the head person Snook, they could have had Luke Skywalker fighting him. That's a 3-part fight, one movie, good. Episode 8, episode 8 and 9, a 2-part movie, and that's so easy to figure out right there. Come on now, right there. I made fight scenes in one movie in less than 10 minutes, and Kathleen Kennedy, I like she couldn't do that just for 3 movies. Just to make it make sense. I just don't get that. I just don't get that, in my opinion. Because I'll be mad at that junk. I say, really? And, and kind of like thing about it, the Disney employees be claiming their stuff be good. for the live action movies back then. I keep on saying talking some somebody lied to y'all and told y'all that because they were for me talking some somebody lied to y'all. They had lied to y'all. They had lied to y'all just when they said because I'm looking at them. I say, that's not good. That's not good and stuff like that. In my opinion. And like for the alien stuff, shoot, if they make um didn't Whalen had on a ship right that was on that planet and Dick Parkins if they're making like a reboot of the Alien franchise, I think the Whalen corporation is gonna be setting some people up to get killed, I think in my opinion too. In the future. That's just me. That's what I think.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
Because you look at the older Alien franchise, it always been the Whaling franchise. It always been the Whaling company along with somebody else that worked with them that kind of don't tell the rescue team the whole thing what's going on and stuff like that. Because you look at Aliens One, nobody knew nobody knew what was going on. Alien One was excusable. The reason why everybody died, some people died, some people lived. That was excusable in that movie because the company didn't know that the aliens were that smart. But that's what Aliens 2 and 3. That Whaling company just was dirty. They didn't tell nobody at all. They just tell people that people were missing. They do experiments. Just put your facility there, and nothing will happen. The Aliens 2 and 3. Because I'm looking at that, I say, wait a minute now. Because I'm looking at that movie, and I say, shoot, the Whaling company was always gonna be dirty anyway. I think, in my opinion, and that just me. And like for the Predators, I think the Predators might be crossing over too inside the Alien franchise, like in the future. I think something like that. To hunt down some of the aliens, I think that might have killed some of their Predator people if they do a crossover, and that could have been a Predator looking for revenge and humans just being the way. Because think about me, if I was a human, you know what I say? I ain't did nothing, brother. You just go past me, shoot. You don't gotta worry about me fighting you because that's what. Because damn me, shoot, I'm not about to fight no predator. Shoot, they're not about to kill me and stuff like that. Shoot, I'm just gotta get out the way, and that's it. If the predator kind of kill me now, that's a whole different story. I'll use my guns, I use my missile launcher, I'm using everything, just trying to live and slow them down or something. But the aliens is sound like more dangerous than the predators. I think, in my opinion, because you look at type of species, the predators hunt like humans. The aliens just try to put something in you and kill you at the same time and stuff like that. And kind of like people probably could think like I just being delusional, but with species y'all want to help me. I rather I just rather a predator than an alien just trying to hunt me down because them are predators. Predators hunt like humans. Aliens do not hunt like humans. Aliens hunt like lions, wolves. They hunt in packs and stuff like that. If you look at it, because they say the alien game that coming out supposed to be like an original story. If they coming out alien, if they make an alien game right with an original story, shoot, I I know that a movie might be coming out behind it at least a year or two after. Because that what happened after the last Alien game Isolation came out. It was a year or two to after those to Alien Covenant. I think was the newest one. I think that's after the game come out.
Okay.
Wasn't it like Alien Isolation and then the movie came out?
Well, yeah, I think I don't know really actually.
That because they made a game because they made a game Alien Isolation. Then they made a movie after. I think it was 2017. I think something like the Alien Covenant movie, and it puts me a reboot, which is actually a dumb thing I think is fun to do. Is try to reboot it like for because then for me, if you're gonna reboot it, um, take out the big old Prometheus movie just from the lore. Be, because think about it, people like overhype that movie so much like it's good, and they try to say that movie is better than Predator One just for Arnold Schwarzenegger. I say, how could you? How could you look at a movie just with no action, just with a little bit of aliens, and you can say that that movie is better than Predator One, which is a cult classic?
How dare you? Sorry.
I, I don't know what people have against Predator One, it, just because it's not like Prometheus. It take you on an adventure dealing with science. I say it's a Predator movie, and Predator's trying to hunt down people. You don't got no time to just to explore and stuff like that. If aliens hunting you, sure you got time to explore. Sure you got time to scout everything. But that's
Yeah.
what dealing with Predator. Dealing with Predator. Sure, man, you don't got time to explore just where to go, just where not to go, just where the traps at. So you got to look down, run, think everything just at the same time, and stuff like that. So that's just me, and stuff like that. In my opinion, shoot, that's just me. Shit, that's just me in my opinion. What I noticed, like based on the movies and plus the movies that critics like, it seems like the movies that critics like, it sound like is like the movies that be overhyped. Sound like Guardians One. I noticed that movie be higher than most movies in the MCU, was actually better than them. Which I don't get how they overhype Guardians One so much. Because shoot, Guardians Two is better than Guardians One, but I but
Oh,
if
yeah.
I had to rank Guardians movies, I gotta go two, I gotta go three, and I gotta do one, for the last
Right.
one.
Yeah.
Because think about me, if Guardians One, in my opinion, just wasn't hyped so much, it probably would have been a second movie. But the thing is, everybody on YouTube and TikTok overhyped that movie so much. I looked at it, I look at that movie, and that movie was not worth the hype. It was good, but it wasn't hurt hype. It wasn't worth that hype though that everybody was putting behind it. And that movie made so much money. I say, how in the world this movie made this much money? But I understand though. I understand things you're trying to do, in my opinion. And kind of like thing I noticed like the last time I was talking about, it sound like if they make like a video game franchise movie, I think in my opinion, if they can do it, how can I say this? Shoot, the video game franchise movie I will make is like a Mega Man live action movie. Because I think that's right. They already made a Mario animation movie, but they can make a Mega Man animation movie
Right.
or some kind of Star Fox animation movie. Cause I was done right. I did with Star Fox, Mega Man. Um, they can make another Tekken reboot Tekken. movie put in theaters or some kind of Street Fighter movie and put in theaters as popular now. The popular ones is Street Fighter and Tekken. Because that my thing my friend talks on they already doing a Mortal Kombat 2. They're already filming that part this year. They're filming that this year, the Mortal Kombat 2. But then my friend talks on what's the um uh what's the characters do you want to see in Mortal Kombat 2 that's new on
Uh,
Barcode?
that's hard. I guess not talk about villains and not talk about killers.
Okay.
I yeah, I mean yeah, that people
Oh,
know of. I mean,
okay. Because like the villains I want to see from Mortal Kombat 2, I think that could be happening. I think it's like they should bring back Shang Tsung, but they need to bring in Quan Chi just in the background. They just be messing with
right,
stuff in the background. Because if you look at it, Quan Chi, he's like a bad guy. He sounds like Loki. If you look at it, Quan Chi is Loki. He, he he's a more dangerous Loki, but then he's still Loki when he was evil and stuff like that. And that when the people, in my opinion, like in the MCU, might be getting their comparison if they see him. Because if you look at it, Loki know how to shape shift into certain people and get away from stuff, and they can do the same thing with with this Quan Chi character, I think, and stuff like that, and just waste some kind of confusion in between the teams and stuff like that. Because if you look at it, shoot, man, you can't trust Quan Chi for nothing, up in my opinion. And that was some people, in my opinion, just don't realize. Tell something, man, you can't trust that man for nothing, man. You can't trust him and stuff like that, man. It's easy and stuff like that. For me, in my opinion, and stuff like that. Um, and kind of like in my opinion, stuff like that, the other opinions, which I think in my opinion could be good or could be bad. Which I think for the fight game universe, I think in my opinion, right, if Mortal Kombat 2 is actually good,
right,
shoot, I, I think that Street Fighter is gonna be making their own movie. Just when like Mortal Kombat, just to make all this money for their movies, because the first Mortal Kombat movie made money in theaters and plus on streaming. It would actually stream a lot. But the thing, in my opinion, is it sounds like the Street Fighter people who who is really making that movie, they need to start casting some of the good people. I think, in my opinion, they need to start casting them. I think, in my opinion, because they might not agree with me, but that's what they need to start casting some of their people who become Chun Li, Guile, Ryu, Bison, Sagat. Because they, in my opinion, they need to cast the main people to be the first one, and just expand it for the second, third, and fourth, and stuff like that. Because if you look at it, they need to expand the characters. I think, like in movies, because if you look at the one in the '90s, just with John Carl Van Dam, it was quirky. I liked it and stuff like that. But things in my opinion, also, it needs to be updated. Like for the new people who didn't see the '90s Street Fighter movie,
right,
and stuff like that. Because they are me. Shoot, I understand it was the '90s, and plus you try to be funny and quirky with the movie, and like in the '90s, based on being a comedy, and and for people to be funny, to be able to look at it. But that's what now, so you got to make it serious now and stuff like that. Because they might it's more people now that know the lore, they know the background of the characters and stuff like that, and it sounds like the people now just won't let you get away with stuff. Sound like people that's in the '90s who didn't look at the lore of the characters and stuff like that. Because you can't do the same thing now like you could do back in the day, like with Street Fighter movie without the lore. Cause then, in my opinion, talk some up in my opinion, if they start a new universe, they need to have Ryu, Ken, Gao, and Nash up in the middle of it, just being the main four. And Chun Li, I like Chun Li, but she not. How can I say? She's not a good character to base your lore around to have a franchise.
Right.
You, you can have one on Ken, Ryu, Gao, and Nash, those four, and just have like Chun Li tag along with them, just expand her lore with them and stuff like that. But the thing about it, some people just might think I'm hating, but that's what I'm not. I'm not hating the stuff like that in my opinion. But you gotta look at the universe as a whole, and what will sell more. Because what will sell more is Gao and Ryu. Those are the main two of the Street Fighter universe that will sell more. Gao, Ryu, and Ken. And Charlie just not coming up on popularity. And plus, and you can have like Sagat blend in too with that universe with Ryu. Because if you look at it, you can actually like expand your universe with Gao, Ken, Ryu, and Nash. Those four
Right.
characters, they could branch out and bring in new characters if you look at it.
Yeah,
If
I
you
agree
look
on that.
at the
Yeah.
because right when you look at the games, it's really been Gao, Ryu, Ken, and Nash, and those was the four characters that brought in everybody else and stuff like that. In my opinion, those characters that did it, and sometimes people hate to admit it, but you need Ryu as one of the characters in the movie and stuff like because that won't make no sense. That won't make no sense to have a movie without Ryu and Ken in it. Up in a Street Fighter live action movie. That make no sense. Unless you started with Guile and Nash. That that's the only way, in my opinion, that people just will let you get away with it. That's the only way. That's the only way I think that people just let you get away with it if you making a Guile movie by itself, in my opinion. And before I leave everything like that, definitely everybody that follow on TikTok is if y'all want to know is Phantom, Multiverse, JoJo fan.
I'll make it that. Sorry, person.
Oh, your Sergeant Person, Brett Rose.
Major Dresser.
Oh yeah, Johnson. Yeah.
Agent.
LeBron.
Yeah.
LeBron Fett.
Yeah.
Review Time
Sure.
Productions. Ethan.
Sure. No, yeah.
Oh yeah, Ethan. Odysseus. Benjury 42. JoJo fan 77724.
Yeah.
Nerdy Girl. Nerdy Pimp Girl. DPC Patron. Um, Blaze Hawk. PV Trooper. Star Max 9000, Grim, the Dragon Tamer, the Power Ranger person, who do with Phantom sometimes, plus Omega Zack,
Yeah.
and
I'll make that.
everybody follow Lee. Yeah. And plus stream.